In this video, we're going to talk about being authentic on video and in the content that we create, what that means to be authentic and how we can do it, how we can show our authentic selves. Being authentic is about showing our true self, showing our values, our beliefs, our experiences, so that we can create connection and touch points with other people. For instance, if your kids play baseball, if your child rides horses, we're farmers, I have animals, I show in all my content that I love animals. If you do that too, you're creating those touch points and those anchor points with other people that make them think, she's like me. For instance, I cuss a little in normal life. I don't do that on my videos unless it's necessary. I'm not adverse to doing it, but it's not something that I do on a regular basis. But that again is being authentic because I'm telling you that I do it and why I don't do it on video. So we're getting that connection. That may attract you to me because you understand my beliefs and they're the same beliefs as yours, or for whatever reason that may repel you. And either way, that's good because I want to connect with the right people. It's not a numbers game. It's not about those vanity metrics. It's about getting the right people into our audience and building those true relationships. Being authentic isn't about being over vulnerable. Yes, be vulnerable, tell your stories and show that side of you, but you don't have to share from your wounds. I'm a big believer of sharing what's going to help other people. If it feels right to you, then share it. If it doesn't, then don't. And that doesn't make you unauthentic. It just makes you authentically you and doing what feels right and aligned for you. So for instance, today I'm showing up without my hair done, without makeup, not fancy dressed at all. I have animals, I've got to go outside, do my animals, do my work, I've got one-to-one clients, I've got memberships to run, content to create and all the other things. So like you, busy in life, and we just have to do them. And we just have to do these things. So it's about moving past the procrastination, the overthinking and the perfection. And that in itself is showing up as me, which is authentic. Again, you may or may not connect with those values and that's fine either way. But I'm showing you what authenticity is to me. So a little exercise that I do with my members is to list 5 or 6 things that are your core values, that are non-negotiables to you. So for instance, to me, I like the quickest way from A to B. I like no fluff. I like to say it how it is. I like to have fun. I like to be creative and I like to be the most helpful person in my space. All those things embody the content that I create. It's how I live my life on a daily basis. If you met me in real life, I wouldn't be any different from the person that you see on here. And that's what I want to come through in my content. I want to be having a casual conversation. I want to be connecting with people in a way that, like, we're sat down the pub having a drink or sat around the kitchen table having a cup of coffee. That's how I want to connect with my audience. And there's another touch point again there. I drink coffee. That may or may not resonate with you again. Yep, she's like me. No, she's not. So it's the little things like that, as well as showing those values and what's important to you within your content. And as long as your content's going to help your ideal person, because that's what they're going to watch your content for, to learn and to move through the transformation that you've moved through. It's about showing what's been important to you, what is important to you now, and what's going to help them along on their journey. I think it's more important now more than ever to show up as your authentic self in a world of AI and where you don't believe very much that you see on the internet. It's more important to have those conversations, to build the trust, to build the connection, because without the trust, you're not going to get the conversions. And people are willing to spend money. They want to spend the money to get the results that they want, but they also want to believe that you're the person to help them and that they're going to get those results. So showing your true authentic self, building that trust, building those relationships to show that you're the person that's going to help them along the journey is absolutely crucial. So share your journey from the inside out. Show us what's worked for you. What's the path that you've taken? How have you got from where you were to where you are now? That again may build some connection points with your audience. For instance, I really struggled to show up on camera. I struggled to get on camera and actually create the content and put myself out there because I was so worried about what people would think, what people would say. And that all stems from a belief when I was little, when my mum would say, sit down, Elaine, shut up, you're embarrassing me, showing off. Kids should be seen and not heard. They were the values that my parents passed to me, and they were the beliefs that I instilled and became part of my operating system. So I had to work on those to move through them so that I could show up on camera confidently, hence me starting my memberships and helping other members do the same. So think about the things that make you you. Share that from the inside out. Share your stories, build that into your content, because stories are a great way to communicate, and especially when your audience can see themselves in those stories, that makes it really relatable. And we all want to be part of a collective that means something bigger, that's with like-minded people. So it's about building those relationships with who we are, what we think, what we believe, our experiences. Some of those may be polarizing, and that's fine. If that's what you believe, that's what you stand for, then show that in your content, because it's going to connect the right kind of people. And that's what's going to help us to build our personal brand, having the confidence to show up as us, authentic, and creating content for our like-minded audience. And if you feel a little unconfident on camera, but you want to build your personal brand with video, then grab my free 30 affirmation cards below. They're going to help you one a day over the month out of those 30, and they're going to help you to really think, feel, and believe about showing up confidently on camera to build your personal brand. And we're all on this personal growth journey, and I like to share the path that I'm taking, what I'm learning, and learning from each other, because we all want to maximize our time, be a better person, and all that in turn helps us to be able to help more people. So some tips to think about when you're filming. First of all, make sure that you're relaxed. If we're thinking about all the things that we've got to do, we become a little bit stiff in ourselves, because we're thinking, I've got to do that, got to do that, got to do it in this order, trying to do all the things. But in reality, it's like when you drive a car. At first, when you're first taking your test, everything seems like a lot to do. But then now you just get in the car automatically and drive. And that's the same with filming. But holding your body stiff is going to make you look more unconfident, and you're not going to come across as your own authentic, as your true authentic self if you're feeling stiff and a little bit like that. So think about having a little bit of a shake before you start, and imagining that you're talking to a friend on FaceTime, that you're talking on Zoom to somebody, because when you're doing that, you're being natural, you're having that natural conversation, and it's that chatty vibe that we want to create. Look in the lens when you're talking, don't look down, don't look up. Like you're looking somebody in the eye when you're talking to them. If you're having a conversation in real life, you're looking at the person in the eye. That makes them feel seen, it makes them feel heard, that you're interested in what they have to say, and you've more chance of getting that reciprocation. And then when you start to deliver your content, you want to keep it short, keep it sweet, stick to the point, making sure that you're giving value to help your ideal person, because what's in it for them to watch? It's got to be of interest to them, to help solve the problem, make the day better, save them time, save them money, save them brain power, something that's going to help them and further them along the journey. So speaking from the heart, speaking without script, I find better. Have some bullet points down, but do what's best for you. If you want to use a teleprompter, something like the app Teleprompter, that's a good one to use. That's where I started. But in general, try to keep that casual, authentic conversation. Things tend to flow better, it's less stilted, and it's more like the real you. And if you want to create videos without overthinking, if you want to create videos without comparing to others, watch these 2 videos here, and I have lots more others on my channel as well. I'll see you in the next video.